there's my views. You got them. Dump Trump.
Time is money, so spend yours listening to me talk about things that are important to me and my people.
Time is money. Hello and welcome to Minisode 14. I've done 14 of these minisodes and I really hope it's doing something for you. I really do. Please, as always, like, subscribe, engage, review, rate, share with your friends, put it in the group chat, do everything you can if you enjoy this, because that's the only way I get any happiness from this, if it's all for something. This is going to be short and sweet. It's going to be more of a monologue of me airing my week's frustrations about the new president of America. If you know anything about me, and you've listened to just one episode of this whole podcast, it shouldn't come as a surprise to you that I'm not a Trump supporter. And obviously I'm not American, but if I was, I wouldn't have been voting Trump. Now, does that mean I'm for Kamala? I share many similarities with Kamala. She has a Asian mother and I believe a Caribbean father, similar to myself. She is an outspoken woman of colour. She has had to fight through a lot of barriers to be where she is. And I'm not taking that away from her. I give her props for that. Brilliant. Just as I do to any other government person who is a woman of colour. Like even Kemi, Priti Patel. For that reason, well done to you ladies. For every other reason, you are not my people. I don't want you to be a representative of me because you don't stand for anything I believe in. I don't think that Kamala and Trump are that different in beliefs, in what they stand for, in their approach to things, in their approach to genocide. I don't think they're that different. However, Donald Trump is a known sex offender, an outward misogynist, and it's scary how much he hates women. It terrifies me, especially because there are so many women in the world. They make up 50% of the population. So if the most powerful country in the world, America, has a president who is openly saying women cannot decide what goes on in their own bodies, women have to live with consequences that are not their fault, but maybe a result of rape, maybe a result of ancestral abuse, that doesn't matter, that's the reason women have to live with that. That's terrifying to me. And I cannot believe how many women have voted for Trump. That is mind-blowing to me as well. So it's very hard and very scary to imagine that this is the reality. But like I said, I don't think that Kamala Harris would have been any different in her approach to things. The only difference would have been women and how she treated women and women's rights to have right over their own body. I think it's unfair that Kamala is being, I guess, treated, I don't want to say treated badly. I think it's unfair that Kamala is being hated. Kamala is receiving hate for her perspective on the genocide that's happening in Palestine. Now, whilst I am free Palestine all day long, I don't think that Trump is necessarily more pro-Palestine than Kamala is. I feel like their approach is probably very much the same. The powers that be pay them, and it just so happens that the leaders of Israel are behind a lot of where America's money comes from. So therefore, while that's still the case, they're not going to have much support and love for a country which could potentially jeopardise that, obviously Palestine. So I think it's unfair that Kamala is being torn apart for her response on the genocide when Trump's response would have been absolutely the same. And the only reason I think that it's coming harder for Kamala is because she is a woman of colour. There is an expectation that she would care more and do more for a country which is in genocide. And I totally agree that that is the case. But I think that whilst we make allowances for politicians, especially white male politicians all day long, such as the fact that they are felons, known sex offenders, etc., there should be a bit of grace for her, given that she's in the same boat. She's in politics. It's what pays her. And therefore, she's not going to have much to do to support this. And I also feel like it shouldn't come as a surprise to people that the leader of the free world is not actually a good person. I think it's been a very long time since there's been a prime minister or a president of any of the major Western countries, which everyone agrees is for the people. That time has been and gone. Everyone only cares about capitalism now. What else can I say on it? I think that if you are like me and you are heartbroken and outraged and absolutely sympathetic with the women who have to live under Trump's reign for 4 years, I would advise not talking about the election with people that you don't quite know but assume to be quite democratic in their views, because you will sadly get a very harsh awakening when you do have a conversation with them and realise that there is a high chance that they are actually pro-Trump. And I've had that many times this week. I've literally had 3 conversations with people who I thought, surely, you can read, you have a brain, you tell me all the time about your wife and you appear to stand for women. Surely, you must not think that Trump is, and you do. So it's a very awkward interaction and it's quite emotionally draining. So I would recommend you avoid those conversations with people that you're not sure about. People are closet Trump lovers more than you think. And you don't want to be caught in a situation like I was on a work call on Teams at 8 a.m. in the morning, gobsmacked that Ian, who I've been on a project with for about 2 months, is actually a Trump supporter. Yes, there's other arguments economically, wage packet wise, Trump was the better choice, fine. But when we're talking about a matter of a woman who may be raped by her father and gets pregnant, has to now keep a child that they had no intention of having or wanting or anything like that, and is the result of rape, I don't understand how it's a conversation. It's horrible and terrifying. So those are my thoughts. I know I've rambled on, and I know this hasn't really been very interactive, which is hard to do given I'm recording this on my own and you're all listening from wherever you're listening. But I just wanted to share that sentiment. It will of course be controversial. Not everyone's going to agree with me, but there's my views. You got them. Dump Trump. Hope you're having a good week whenever you listen to this. Please tune in to all the other minisodes. Subscribe, like, follow, engage, and I will see you next week. Bye.